So happy that the Moth joke has been getting circulated so much from our Tonight Show, because it is completely outrageous what he's doing. It is, it's the Tonight Show, and he is telling this very long story, and he's taking all the time in the world, and I love it just because even though I was there, I'm delighted every time I see it.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm delighted with it, because what he's doing is breaks every rule. Brevity is the soul of wit. That is the rule.
Yeah.
Keep it, and man, he completely, like Picasso, blew up the form. He goes and he tells this joke forever, and then finally gets to this punchline, and you can see that everyone's delighted, but he has broken every rule in the book. And I was talking to Lori Joe, and I asked her if it's okay if I related this, and she said it was okay. But she said that not too long ago, someone asked Norm about the Moth story that he told on our Tonight Show, and that she said, the guy wanted to know what made you have the nerve to do that, and that he said that, it was that goddamn Frank Smiley. He said, I was only supposed to do one segment, and then suddenly in the commercial break, Frank came over and said, like, you're doing another one, because whenever I had Norm, I was greedy. I wanted more Norm. I always wanted more Norm. And so he didn't know that we were going to ask him to do a second segment. He had nothing planned, absolutely nothing planned. And so as recently as not that long ago, I think this was a couple of months ago, he was telling somebody, damn it, that was Frank Smiley. Hey, get back out there. Conan wants more.
So he heard that joke from Colin Quinn. And he did the segment. And it was he had 7 minutes prepared.
Yeah.
And so he basically, you said, and then he's done.
He's done.
You say, we'll be right back with more Norm. And he goes, I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
So then he remembered the Colin joke, and it was a 20-second joke. So he asked you, how long is the segment? And he was hoping you'd say 20 seconds.
Right.
But you said 7 minutes.
Yep.
So it became a 7-minute joke.
Yeah, and he's doing that. This has to be understood. He's doing this on the fly.
Yep.
So his way to slow it down that he came up with on the fly is he invents...
It's a Chekhov play.
It's a Chekhov play.
With Russian names.
And there's a sadness, an ineffable sadness in life weighing on the character's soul. And, and I'm thinking, who... I've never met anybody who would take that chance and make that choice. And I'll never meet anybody like him again.
Well, he was the ballsiest comedian in the history of comedians. He
was taking that, and he was saying, the joke doesn't matter. Like that, he would watching that, seeing that clip again. You're getting to see his brain. Yeah. He's just showing you his brain. And the notion that that the joke is the thing, the joke isn't the thing.
No, it's the journey.
It's taking a stroll through this guy's brain and hearing the choices that he makes and what he has to say. And, and I think that was kind of what, there was so much of what he, would say, well, that doesn't matter. This matters, and what mattered to him was his own self-expression, was spreading his own kind of genius and his own point of view.
So we're seeing it a little bit in process here, but obviously we watch you on late night shows. We hear you. I just heard you on Howard Stern. We watch you on your podcast, and what we find is suddenly we're sucked into the vortex of a nearly 9-minute joke that we have no idea how it emerged or where it will lead and what will happen with it, except that it will be very funny and we'll be trying to get everybody to listen to it the next day. How do you do you come saying, oh, I have a
Well,
joke?
you mean like a street joke, like a real
Street joke?
You mean like an actual joke?
Well, I mean, like the
Like a
Moth
guy walks
joke
into a
or
bar.
the Dirty Johnny joke.
Yeah, I don't make up those jokes.
They're just out there?
No, have you ever tried to make up a joke? Like, no comic in the world can make up an actual joke. Like a guy walks into a bar and this happens. This
is startling information.
Oh, you didn't know that? You thought
No,
they
I
came-
thought you come with these things written down on paper, right?
No. You know, they call like a comedian's act jokes, but they haven't been jokes for years. You know, it changed with Alan King to observational comedy. You know, like talking about crabgrass in your neighbor's fucking yard or something. I don't care for Alan King.
Well, a lot of America is upset right now because there's a huge Alan King audience here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Or maybe it's Larry King. So you're dodging this a little bit. So these are old jokes that you're stealing from Rich Little?
Not Rich Little didn't tell jokes. No, but like the Moth joke, for instance. Colin Quinn told me that joke, and he said, you know, have you ever heard of the Moth joke? Meaning it was a famous joke. And I said, no. And he said, a moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and he says, I have terrible problems, doctor, and I think I'm going mad. And the podiatrist goes, oh, well, that's too bad, Moth. But why come to me? I'm a podiatrist. You should be going to see a psychiatrist. Why did you come to my office? And the Moth says, because the light was on.
So that's a good joke,
Yeah.
but that's not your joke.
That's not my joke. So
No.
I was on the Conan O'Brien show, and I was going to do one segment, and at the end of the segment, he said, we'll be right back with more Norm. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I thought a guy was going to show new Christmas toys. So I said,
And then it's about to go down. We're here to stay and run this town. Bring in the heat, bring in the energy. We're the queens of the festival, can't you see? We're the queens of the festival, here to rule the stage. Dropping beats and make your body engage. From sunrise to sunset, we're taking it all. We're the festival queens standing tall. Ooh, yeah, ooh. From dawn till dusk, we command the crowd's gaze. Every beat, every rhyme sets our souls ablaze. With swagger and style, we own this domain. In the realm of music, we reign supreme, no chain. Feel the rhythm pulsating through your veins. Our verses ignite fire, never wane. With each lyric we spit, each move we make, we carve our legacy, leaving jaws to quake. We're the queens of the festival, here to rule the stage. Dropping beats and make your body engage. From sunrise to sunset, we're taking it all. We're the festival queens standing tall. Ooh, I get it. Ooh. No crown needed, our awe's the crown jewel in the kingdom of sound. We never play the fool with beats as our scepters and rhymes as our decree. We're the sovereigns of rhythm for all to see. So bow down to the queens as we own the night. In the kingdom of music, we're the guiding light. From the first note to the last, we'll always be the festival queens, forever wild and free.
I said, I don't got nothing to say. And then I remember that Colin Quinn, he said, just talk. So I remember that Colin Quinn joke, and which is about a 20-second joke, you know. So I said, how long is this segment? Hoping he'd say 20 seconds. And he said about 7 minutes, you know. So I made the joke 7 minutes long.